When we look at like black people or women or whatever in society, usually we say like these people are disadvantaged because they're like lower power holders. People are very binary with like good and evil. Let's say that a girl's driving down the street and you look at her, she looks at you, and she flashes her tits at you, right? Is that sexual harassment?
The question is, how long can Twitch continue to host reaction content with Gordon Ramsay or cops or whatever it is, knowing what's going on, knowing that the rights probably aren't there?
He's talking about how this is like his dream, his one shot. And I looked at his stats and he streamed 25 hours out of the whole week.
We don't make moral decisions in the ways that we wish we would. It's not very rational the way that we do it.
Vaping will give you a better feeling than cigarettes do.
I guess back to the Steven Crowder thing, like he believes that there are only two genders. Would you argue against that, Destiny?
I think that 95% of the Instagram girls that have big booties or whatever on the internet, generally what it is most of it is fat. A lot of the girls say that they work out and they gained a bunch of muscle in the gym, but the reality is they just started eating more, they gained fat, and they happen to put on a lot of fat on their butt. I need to figure out how to find people that can get work done that I don't want to do. That's like the most important skill in life. And if you can develop it, holy shit, it's so fucking key. Trans people can't compete, I don't think, normally with cis women. I don't know if that's the right answer. Well, I'm super curious about the Jewish thing. So usually when we think of like certain minority groups that are disadvantaged, usually when we say they're disadvantaged, we say it's because it's hard to have this conversation without skirting like alt-right Jewish conspiracy theory questions. When we look at like black people or women or whatever in society, usually we say like these people are disadvantaged because they're like lower power holders, right? Like disproportionate to the percentage they have of the population, they hold a disproportionately low amount of power, and then they face like oppression or whatever that is like disproportionate to their existence from the majority class. Wait, hold on. If you can't have the conversation, just leave. Hold on one second. How about Asian people? Can you be racist to them? Do you consider? I'm not sure. Damn, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. It feels like the answer is obviously yes, but I guess they wouldn't fit the same definition. Or they would fit the same definition that I would give Jewish people. I don't think it's okay to say genocide any group of people, no matter their power status in society, especially since they've been genocided in the past. I already know what my response to you would be, but I already know what your response back would be. But your response back is bullshit. Because then I would say, okay, well, I think that it's really wrong to say, like, eat the landlords or let the landlord's blood flow in the street because landlords were killed historically, like in massive numbers in certain societies. But then you would say, well, landlords aren't like an ethnic group technically, so you can say genocide them because that's not the official UN definition of genocide. And then my response would be, okay, well, that's really fucking stupid to like, we're gonna float the UN definition there in order to. Do you think I'm a fucking lefty? No, but there's like 4 people with KO names in my chat, and all of them are flow together in my head, and they're all like, I have really bad ideas of all of you. But I think it's because of Cosidus. I assume all of you are the same and stupid. Or Kogasa. There's Cosidus, there's Kogasa, and there's Kodali. And I mix all of you up because Cosidus is so fucking crazy. But Kogasa might be too. I'm not sure. I don't know. Wouldn't this type of minority separation be used to delegitimize problems that Asian/Jewish people face? Like, just because they're a model minority doesn't mean they don't face some type of discrimination. Yeah, they do, I guess. I guess it's just weird to factor that because, like, it feels like people always hand wave, like, successful group, like, white people problems. Because it's like, oh, wow, big deal. Like, you're white. Like, okay. I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to think about this a lot. I have to think about it in my free time, though. I don't think I can have this come up with chat. You guys are way too... Because half of the time when you guys are saying things, it doesn't even apply. It's not even why we care about... Like, for like half of you guys like, oh, of course, well, they face some type of discrimination. It's like, okay, well, like white people in some cases face some type of discrimination. But the reason why we would usually say like, well, racial slurs or whatever don't affect white people as much is because white people are majority power holders in society. But then it seems like when you look at like financial situations or like or general like socioeconomic situations, like your social status and your economic situation, or like influence or power you wield in society, like Jewish people do like really well. So I'm not sure. A lot of people are either too scared or too stupid to see a difference between admitting that Jews are disproportionately represented in places of power and claiming that because of a speaking spirit. Yeah, and it's a really hard conversation to have too, because like the farther left you bend, it feels like there's like genuine anti-Semitism over there as well. Although the anti-Semitism is usually seems to be focused on Israel, but it's really hard to separate out like which statements are anti-Semitic versus which statements are just like the run-of-the-mill anti-imperialist, anti-military. I'll start saving these statements when I see them next. But like that Corbyn shit, the lefty shit in the UK, what was that one article that blew my mind? Was it a politician who referred to Jews as like crooked nose? Fuck, I should have this I should have this saved. Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find it. It was like crazy, and he like defended it too. I was like, dude, you can't say that. Like, and then people that refer to the IDF as like these dog soldiers that are just bloodthirsty murderers. Like, whoa, okay, chill, dude. Yeah, Jesus, fuck. Anti-Semitism is very complex, and the studies on it, there are 3 to 4 distinct forms of anti-Semitism, and lots of it's really, really weird. Member of Parliament Naz Shah was suspended for old Facebook posts suggesting that Israel be relocated to the U.S. Holy shit. While former London Mayor Ken Livingstone was suspended for comments claiming Hitler supported Zionism. I don't know. I'll deep dive on that someday. Oh, people are very binary with like good and evil. I've noticed that like, it's hard to have somebody where it's like, oh yeah, like I disagree with that, or like this is not a good thing, and it's like, this undoes every single thing you've ever done or said on the topic. Like, if we could measure like, it's like, let's like say we measure overall like the amount of people that I've converted from right to left, or the amount of people that I've made racist, right? And it's like, okay, well, like, so what have we done from right to left? Like, okay, well, we've had huge debates with JonTron. We've debated a lot of white nationalists and ethno status. Like, we've given a lot of, spirited defenses of why diversity is good and all this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, but there's also logs of you saying genocide the Jews. So that undoes everything. It's like, whoa. Okay, well, that seems a little bit binary, bro. But, I mean, okay. And then I noticed, like, similar with, like, the Ari Nina stuff, too. Like, there's definitely stuff she does that you probably shouldn't do. Like, sending nudes to people unsolicited is probably not good. But people, people are like, you're a sexual rapist. You are an online raping people's eyes. And it is the worst, most disgusting. It's like, okay, chill. Okay? It's okay. Calm down. Okay, I kind of agree, but this is also a straw man or exaggeration of legit criticism. Well, you can legit criticize somebody for things. It's just really annoying that people, like, run it down, like, to the fucking end field. Out of interest, when is it okay or probably a good thing to send an unsolicited nude? I just, like, fuck, I hate talking about this because people's understandings of everything is, like, so fucking warped. So, the way that I generally view unsolicited sexual attention as being really bad is when the other person is put in a state where they don't have the ability to necessarily refuse it. Like, that's something that, like, that's what I think is really, really, really bad about unwanted sexual contact. So, for instance, like, sexual contact in the workplace is really fucked. Sexual contact when you're in proximity to someone, especially if it's just the two of you, is, like, really fucked. I don't know how I feel about, like, firing off an unsolicited nude. I guess if it is bad, it's an incredibly minor one. But I'm trying to think if I think it's bad at all. I'm not sure. If you just send a nude to someone in like a private message, I don't know. I have to think about it a lot. I'm not sure. And sometimes I feel like I don't want to do this because I think it would be really boring, and other people do it too. I feel like I want to have like full on like we need to talk about like sex, like. Not like fucking or whatever, but like, so like this, like, so what Vosh did wasn't that bad because Poppy can just block him. Like, you've missed so much. You've no idea why any of that is bad if you believe that. It had nothing to do with sending pictures. It didn't even really have to do that much necessarily with the sexual part. It was more like the capitalizing on like a vulnerable person and then exploiting that relationship to try to get something out of them that they weren't comfortable exchanging with you, right? Like that was the big, I don't know, but people are like, oh, well, then Vosh wasn't that bad. Or Irish Lady. I don't want to keep bringing up his shit or whatever, but like, can't you just compare sending an unsolicited nude with exposing yourself to someone? Well, like, so like, exposing yourself to someone I think is really bad because generally it's a proximity thing. So like the Louis C.K. thing I think is really bad because like you're in a room with someone and it's like, holy fuck. Like, that's really fucked. But, like, if somebody, and all I'm trying to disagree with this, I don't care, I'm fine with that. But, like, if you're driving down the street and, like, a guy just, like, fucking, you, like, see a guy, like, in a car and he's driving down and he whips, like, a 20-inch dick out, he's like, yeah, and he just, like, drives on, like, it's really shit to do and you shouldn't do it, obviously. But I don't know if I care that much. Like, okay, like, you saw a guy's dick, like, he's not gonna come after you. Like, he's driving. Like, you're fine. Like, but so like, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Like, for instance, like a common thing is like, it's not that common, but like streaking at games, right? A guy gets naked and he runs down a field. Is that guy sexually harassing like every single person in the stadium? I don't know. Oh, dude, this is the intersection between a lot of very strange topics too, like sexual harassment, respecting somebody's right to not be sexually harassed, implied consent, and then sex positivity too. Like, is just seeing a dick, like, is that really, should that be like a bad experience? Like, if somebody, because then like, oof, okay, here's like a really hard one, right? Okay, fine. Let's say that a girl's driving down the street and you look at her, she looks at you, and she flashes her tits at you, right? Is that sexual harassment? Okay, hold on. I'm super curious. We're gonna poll for this one. Is it sexual harassment if a girl flashes her breasts at you? We'll say she's driving by in a car, okay? Just she's not like in a room like she has you trapped or whatever. Okay. You guys are like generally progressive on a lot of these issues. So now
I enjoy sexually harassing myself.
So now I'm super curious because I thought we were all okay with like women being topless in public. Remember how we push for that? Remember how we say things like, oh, like women should be allowed to be topless in public. Like that New York City law is good. So now, like, is there a difference here? These aren't contradictory positions. So if a woman was walking down the street and then like raised her shirt to flash people, that would be bad. But if she was walking down the street already topless, that would be okay? I don't know about that one. That seems like those are totally different. Okay. Well, let's finesse this out even more. What if a woman was walking down the street and decided to just take her shirt off, but now she remains topless? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think that like the intention matters, but how do you know the intent? How can you like, I guess you could like induce it. If somebody's looking at you and they stare at you and they're like, they open their shirt or whatever and they get you and it's like, oh fuck, like that's bad. But like in terms of like the intention there, like the end result is the same both times. Like you're basically seeing a pair of boobs that you didn't ask to see. Like does the intention of the person, is it actually relevant? Ask chat why they're giving shit takes. I'm getting triggered. Well, it's hard to tell how many takes are inspired by people like hating Nina versus how many people actually have like positions on this. Like the act of walking around topless isn't sexual. The act of flashing your boobs to a specific person. Well, what's sexual is in the mind of the beholder. It's not in the intent, right? Like what if a woman was at a... Okay, wait, hold on. Because I can ask you a million questions. Harassment implies a targeted act, but not really. So like, cause wait. Now you said harassment implies a target. Okay, wait. Oh no, I wish I'd pulled you guys on this. So now you're saying harassment implies a targeted act. But earlier, when I asked chat, is streaking at a football game sexual harassment of all the crowd? All of you guys said yes. But that was a non-sexual intent and that wasn't targeting a specific person. But like all of you guys were spamming yes, that's sexual harassment. Now you're saying no, it's not. Okay, this guy's saying it targets the crowd. They're targeting the entire stadium? Okay, but couldn't you argue if you're going topless that you're targeting everybody that you're walking by? Like what if you go what if you decide to, okay, when a woman wears something with a lot of cleavage because she thinks it looks good, she thinks it looks good, she's like targeting people that she's like, oh, like look, my cleavage looks good. If you go topless and you have really nice boobs, couldn't you argue the same thing? Well, I'm targeting everybody that I walk by? How would you even know? How would you even be able to tell if a person going topless is making it sexual or not, right? Because I guarantee that if Nina was walking around outside topless, you guys would be like, oh, she's sexually harassing everyone she's walking by. But maybe if somebody different went around, like somebody else went around topless, you guys would be like, oh, okay, well, that's not harassment. Okay, someone says, okay, harassment comes down to this. If a woman flashes her boobs and doesn't want to fuck me, it's harassment. If she will do it, then it's fine. Why can't I hate Nina and have a position on this? Since when the fuck does intent matter, chat? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this intention matters thing is very strange to me, too. I don't know. If a woman goes topless, she's just expressing her bodily autonomy. If you streak, then you are not. What if you streak because you're streaking for the right to be nude in public, though, and you want to express your bodily autonomy? Society views boobies as sexual right now. You can still hold the standard. We are deviating from unsolicited nudes to casual toplessness. Well, yeah, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out, like, what is the bad part of receiving, like, an unsolicited nude? Like, that's the question, right? Like, in most of your platforms, these messages are, like, already filtered to, like, the unread messages or whatever. So the question is, like, if I open my thing right now and, like, somebody has sent me, like, a dick, like, do I feel like, is this, like, a form of harassment? I guess, like, it kind of is. It seems like it because I didn't ask for it. But, like, is every message, like, a form of harassment? Like, I didn't ask for a lot of messages. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just something that I think I just don't care about much. Now, once we start talking physical proximity, then I get much stronger feelings on this. But if it's targeted at a person or a group that can't escape you, yes. Like, that 100% I agree with, yeah. But online, the interaction just seems so different. How many unsolicited dick pics have you sent? Have I? I've never sent one before. I think is from male to female, you typically aren't as, like, girls usually don't like unsolicited dick pics, generally. Also, I'd be worried somebody would just like, oh, fuck you, and then publish it. And then I would look like a dick.
Real talk, Steve, how long do you think this type of content can exist on stream? So the logic right now, I think, and you said this originally, I believe, or someone did, is companies aren't going to care to DMCA this stuff off of Twitch if they don't do it off of YouTube, which I think makes sense for the most part. But the question is, how long can Twitch continue to host reaction content with Gordon Ramsay or cops or whatever it is, knowing what's going on, knowing that the rights probably aren't there? Do you think they will act, or no?
I mean, they're not liable at all for it. It's part of the DMCA, baby.
Sure, but
the risk of a streamer doing it is kind of awful. Like, just seeing what's happening with the music, and people are threatened with permabanning, saying like, look, hey, we really like you streaming on our platform, but if you get a few strikes with DMCA, you're gone for good. I mean, it hasn't really happened yet with TV or movies, but nothing's to say that it can't, you know?
Mm.
It's a little scary, because I mean, I try not to watch full episodes of shows, but I do watch YouTube on stream. I've done a lot of it kind of since Greek.
And I guess like
Popularized
watching
the format.
YouTube,
Yeah.
like watching YouTube is just completely not okay either. In the same way, I guess, right?
Of course.
Yeah, probably not, but it's a little bit smaller scale, I guess. Maybe they have like less.
Like, if you were to make a YouTube or a Twitch channel just called Cops and just stream Cops, how long until it gets banned?
I mean, it would have to relatively quick, no?
Why?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's an old post from back in the day. Let me show you. This is an old post. I'm aware of this. It's 10 years old. But right after this, Twitch, or Justin TV at the time, completely changed everything. Got rid of all of this. Now, they were in the right, DMCA-wise, because none of this stuff was reported, but it was a super bad look as a result of that, and they completely changed everything up afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know if you remember, but like that's like Justin TV in the early days was literally like just a place you went to watch like copyrighted shit. Like that was all it was for in the early days.
Yeah, I remember. It's just, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch streamers truly, or React streamers are truly the most oppressed class. Here's a real question for you. Do you believe, I want you to, hypothetical, let's say that you were in a place where you could IRL 5 days a week. Do you think that you could hold 3K viewers for all that time moving forward? If you just did IRL every day, could you hold that view count or no?
I think it would go up to like 10K, to be honest. But
Okay, so then
I would hate my life. You know.
Well, here's the thing though.
Everybody
the goal?
hates IRL so much.
Yeah.
Well, what's the goal though? I heard you yesterday, Zherka, and you said my goal is to make it big by any means ever necessary whatsoever. I want to make it big.
Not
right?
any means. Not any. If it was
So
any
you
means,
have
I
a
would be
shortcut.
IRL.
You have a shortcut to being successful, and instead you're fucking around being a React dandy. Seems small-brained. That's all I'm saying. You could be big. I mean, if what you're saying is true, you could be big, right? And then like, imagine that you're hitting 10K a day for like months on end. Then you can start fucking around with other shit,
John
Suffer
has
a little bit.
John has made a lot of progress, but also he's, I think, being a little lazy, because he's talking about how this is like his dream, his one shot. And I looked at his stats, and he streamed 25 hours out of the whole week. And I'm like, no,
Damn.
Is that really
And-
low?
that's really low for someone who's trying to like do this full time. Super low, like almost half.
Listen, if you want to make it, you have to like almost treat it like an investment. You have to like suffer for a long time, saving up, and then you can start taking it easy. But you're not, you should do the IRL shit all the time.
I don't know. Like I think I wouldn't be proud of the content I create if I clocked it in 9 hours a day. I just wouldn't be proud of it at all. And if I'm not proud of it, how the fuck am I gonna go Comedy Central and all these places and leverage deals, right? Like what would I show them? Hey, tune in. Hey, tune in to the Zherka show where I'm live 9 hours but only funny for 4. That would be ridiculous.
Do you think Comedy Central is going to look at hundreds of hours of your stream footage? No, they're going to look at a little highlight reel that you put together, an edited piece, or like a short comedy thing. They're not going to look at that. And if you want to think about actually seriously pitching deals to actual like outside companies, you sitting at home like talking to a just chatting streamer is not going to buy you any more leverage than if you actually put a little money into it and went to a couple different countries and streamed some adventurous content. That's way more appealing to brands. Maybe not Twitch sponsorships, but like Hollywood brands.
No, come on,
John.
hey,
You gotta come to
if
Miami. Dan and I will show you.
I mean, the whole point of being on Twitch is to live like, you know, like when we talked to Mizkif from the room, he said, yeah, that should be most of your content. That is your core fan base anyway. These IRL guys are not really there for you, you know?
That's if you want to be successful on Twitch. If you want to do outside stuff, I see there's value in doing other stuff. Besides, like,
I don't know. My personality will get me in trouble if I'm in public too long, you know?
that's such a cop out, though. Mitch says the same thing. Like, how do you, like, I don't know, man. I have to defend the IRL section because it's like, it's bullshit. And it's like people are saying that to like, not have to do it, or like,
If that's the case, then just quit, right? That's the only answer there. If you actually, if you like, honestly are scared of streaming because you're going to get banned, you should just stop now. Because, like, that's never going to change, right?
Yeah, and, like, they think it's going to be so different just because they're out in the real world. That's the type of shit that gets me in trouble. Why? Are you going to have someone suck your dick on camera? No, go in a couple stores, go meet people, go have a beer, and act like a civilized human being, and you won't get in trouble. I did it for 3 years in a row with barely any trouble. You've gotten more in trouble in 1 week than I've gotten into in 3 years doing IRL.
Yeah, that's what I mean. My personality's not for it.
No,
but that one girl that got you banned, that's why you got banned. It wasn't for your personality, no?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could always make like an edgy joke, and then the whole fucking IRL crowd can turn against me and shit. You know, that's what I worry about. In the desktop streams,
this is like some. I love them, but this is like some train wreck stuff. Like, this is not gonna happen. This is like fantastical. Like, when does this ever happen to someone?
And just like they think because they say it in front of an IRL audience that they're gonna get reported and banned, and if they said it in front of a desktop audience, they wouldn't.
Yeah, because you're with your core community in the desktop, right?
No, you're with everybody. Everybody's everywhere. Like, people are going to watch your stream no matter what. Yeah, you're always going to get some outsiders, like, drifting in. You might get more in some other things.
Misinformation is spread in Twitch like cancer. The number one thing people say is you don't make money doing IRL streams. That's bullshit. If you read off your subs and donos when you do IRL, you get subs and donos.
True.
People say you're going to get banned for being toxic because IRL viewers are toxic. No, if you have a toxic community, it's toxic. If you don't, then it's not.
You just went through a Destiny train. That's because I do like heavy, ultra heavy political content. I'm not just doing random IRL stuff. What the fuck? My position is way different than a random IRL streamer.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, people like Jake and Bake stream IRL like hours and hours, like every single day. Like that CJ Rye guy, like did it for hours and hours every day. Now he got fucked with some really weird like Chinese or Korean shit, yeah, like political shit. But for just like doing IRL like in a city, like you should be fine. I don't know. People manage to do it a lot. Like,
I know, but I don't think I can rewatch that stuff if I'm just walking around and you know.
What do you mean rewatch it? Sitting and talking to just chatting streamers is more entertaining than you in a different country. Yeah, it's easier. That's the thing. So is it laziness, or do you really?
I think it is laziness. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want the shit or not? It's such bullshit, and it's like it's so fake saying like, oh yeah, but this about IRL, but that about IRL. Are you just too lazy to get off your fucking ass and just go to another country and do some good shit where you get 5 times more viewers, make 5 times more money? Or are you actually scared of like getting banned? I think it's just people are just too lazy, and it seems really nice and dandy to make money from their own fucking bedroom. But is it the best stuff? Is it going to get the most viewers? Is it going to make the most progress? Are you going to get the most follower increase? Are you going to get the most sub increase? No.
Have you ever? This is kind of related. John? Have you ever seen the movie Collateral?
No.
The main character is like a taxi car driver, and he has a dream of opening like his own like limousine service for people, and he's got like all the limos picked out. He's got like a book full of them. He's got like a little picture to remind him of his dream on his like the sun visor or whatever when he takes it down, and he's like making like the perfect fucking plans to do it. But what he starts to find out like halfway through the movie is like he's such a planner, he never actually does it at all. And at one point, another like the antagonist of the movie ends up calling him out on his bullshit, where he was like, you know, if you really wanted to do this like this like chauffeur service or whatever, all it would have ever taken was a down payment on a Lincoln Town car, and you could have started. But like you paralyze yourself with fear, like trying to make the perfect plan the entire time, and you know 10 years goes by, and then all of a sudden you still haven't moved on it. Yeah.
All right, let me go from a different point of view. I've already proven I'm king of IRL. Now my goal is to be king of desktop, so it can
wait. I'm actually super curious because you say stuff like this often. Do you really believe that? Are you half memeing?
101 IRL. one IRL VOD of mine destroys any IRL streamer.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm okay. I'm only doing this. This is really awkward, but I love you. You know that you're nothing for IRL, right? Like you're not like on like anybody's like major like scopes for like IRL streamers on Twitch, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm comparing content, right?
Well, yeah, but like just because you had one big VOD, like
no. I had multiple VODs, but I'm saying any one of my VODs can destroy an IRL guy, unless you count
but if you have one VOD,
if you count the drama like CX stuff, I will never.
Okay, let's.
Well, but like even when we say
let's match IRL clips. Let's match IRL clips.
Don't compare it.
No. I've been doing this for 3 years. Let's compare IRL clips. I'm freestyle rapping I'm freestyle rapping in a fucking police officer in Tokyo's face. I almost got fucking abducted by a fucking pedophile in Venice Beach.
What the fuck?
Let's go toe to toe with IRL clips, because you probably don't really have that much content on yours. You might have a couple clips here and there, but to make these claims is like total fake.
I think you're one of the funniest guys that I know, and like I enjoy talking to you, and I love watching you. Like you're funny as fuck. It's true. You just gotta go out and do it more, though. I think it's like, and then you could be like the king of IRL. I think if you like actually went in and did it, but like you can't just sit at your computer all day like doing nothing, being like I'm the king because one time 15 years ago I had a VOD that did a quarter million views.
Now I have a new goal. I've already hit my 1.3K from the desktop, just chilling, right?
What kind of goal is 1.3K? What is that?
You know what I mean?
I'm not even saying it's low. I'm just saying like that seems like so arbitrary. Did you just choose it because that's what you happen to get, or?
I'm saying I hit my 1K from desktop, so now my goal is to sustain that.
Okay.
Right?
But only streaming a few hours a day, or doing like podcasts, or what?
The way, yeah. But the way you guys said is like, oh, you're choosing the lazy route where you want to stay home. True, but isn't it the easier way to do IRL? The shit that is easy views, right?
I think if you saved time diarrheaing from the fucking mouth, you'd have more time to stream and produce content. I think you just say a bunch of bullshit constantly. And I think maybe part of it is
There's no bullshit in saying I'm the king of IRL. There's no bullshit there. But I know desktop streams are lacking. Now I have to be the king of desktop. I'm not saying
if you streamed IRL for 2 years in a row, I have no doubt that you could be the king of IRL.
Okay, I can't even do a week in a row.
Yeah, or even if you did it for like a couple months, like it'd be crazy.
Yeah, for you doing like 5 IRL streams is like, come on, man. I know you're memeing, bro.
No, bro. I'm telling you, I'm the king. I'm telling you.
Would you do IRL more if you had more people to go out with? Do you just not like doing it by yourself?
I'm leaving. I'm out of my probationary period in a few weeks, so IRL is going to be like a big part of my streams.
Wait. When did you get banned last?
It's almost 3 months now.
How long did you get banned for?
Indefinite, so it was 2.5, 3 months almost.
Oh, okay.
So now that I'm approaching that place where I can IRL freely again.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? Now that I'm approaching that zone, I feel like such a pussy. I'm like, yo, I'm taking the easy way out now. Why don't I just keep focusing on desktop, Or maybe not. Maybe it's pussy to stay at the desktop. Who knows? Okay, Destiny.
I didn't think you
Are you guys seriously saying that IRL has no limitation?
It does, but I don't think you're gonna get when you're that paranoid that you think that people are getting banned for jaywalking. Has this ever happened before?
Oh yeah, bro. I am that paranoid. Yes, I am.
Has somebody gotten banned on Twitch for jaywalking?
That's a stupid way to look at it.
Well, that's what you just said. You said you get banned for jaywalking.
Oh yeah, well, hey, this girl got banned for 1 day nudity. John got perma for someone else's nudity that fucking popped up on screen. Oh my god. Blah,
okay.
Blah, blah. Why you acting? No. I'm so tired of streamers acting like the rules are fair for everyone.
No. I'm not acting like the rules are fair. No. Wait. I'm super curious because I don't know because I found this out because I fucked myself when I found out that Hyphonics got banned. Did you know why Hyphonics got banned for like his like shirtless? It was something really stupid, and I remember that I went out publicly a lot and I was like, oh yeah, this is bullshit. Hyphonics got blah blah. And then I found out, Hyphonics got banned like 20 fucking times. And that was like the last straw. Had you ever gotten like an infraction or been banned for anything before? Or was this literally your first ban? What was your prior ban for?
I baited for subs by saying fuck this streamer and like kind of that kind of shit in my first week on Twitch.
How long ago was that?
January, so that was a 30-day.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, guys, like you can do this thing where you think you're giving good advice, but you stop trying to make a fucking square peg fit into a round hole.
Well, no, it's not.
Every streamer can be paranoid on different levels.
Yeah, you can, but like the advice, like there's only one way to look at it. Like you either have to do it or you have to say that like it's too scary and then not do it. You can't like live in this middle ground where you just do it a little bit. Like that doesn't make sense. Like you either have to go for it.
Yeah,
or...
you can. You can sprinkle it in there. What are you talking about?
How? If you think you're going to get banned,
IRL once a week, it would be great.
Then you're just going to get banned. Let's say that you think that if you IRL, let's do this. If you IRL 7 days a week, how many days until you get banned? What do you think?
Well, it'd be daytime content, so I wouldn't worry about a ban too much. You know what I mean?
Wait, then.
What?
What's the problem?
Wait, then just
the
do that.
problem is you can't do it every day. Like that's how you get banned, when you fatigue and start doing dumb shit on camera.
Like you're gonna fatigue and what? Like rape somebody?
Yeah,
like what do you? What are you gonna fatigue and what's gonna happen?
Yeah, you can easily leak someone's number by accident. You could do something really dumb.
Leaking somebody's number doesn't get you banned.
Are you kidding? There's a lady saying her phone number next to me at 7-Eleven.
Okay, why has Jake and Bake been around for so long successfully that you think you would fuck it up?
He's very smart for his shit. He's very smart.
I thought you were the smartest man on Twitch.
Not for IRL.
No, he's the funniest, bro. Come on.
I know I'm the smartest for other stuff, but IRL, no, I'm an idiot when it comes to IRL. I like.
One
you know what
time,
helped me a lot if I watched Jake and Bake more.
All right. Jake is very, very wholesome. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
In the first year of me doing IRL, I did maybe Twitch was a little more lenient then. I did a lot of shit that could have easily gotten me banned, and I didn't. Thank God I didn't. Did I deserve it? Probably. So I understand where you're coming from.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You just said, John's worried about a ban. You clearly have no idea where I'm coming from. Clearly.
Why? Why don't I know where you're coming from?
If you knew where I was coming from, you and Destiny would be like, yeah, it makes sense that you're sticking to desktop.
Well, no.
I think if you want a desktop, wait, to be clear, if you want to be desktop, I think that's okay. But just like, oh fuck! I'll use a personal example, okay?
Yeah, I know. I can't drool about IRL if I'm desktop.
No, just don't. Okay. Make sure you're not lying to yourself, right? So like one excuse that I used to give, or not really, actually, I'm pretty honest, but like sometimes people will say things like I don't go to the gym because I would rather like read a book or practice like a skill or do something more like fruitful with my time than like waste my time like in the gym. That's not true. If you don't go to the gym, it's because you're fucking lazy. Like 9 times out of 10, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with saying like, oh, I don't want to go, but just be honest about it. Don't like sit there and like lie to yourself and make up excuses like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like if you don't want to do it, just don't do it. That's fine though. Like there's like a million things that I could do to have like a better stream or to make a better stream. But for a lot of those things, I just don't want to do it. I like doing what I do. It's comfortable. It's easy. I enjoy it. Like, yeah, and it makes me happy. So like, that's it.
Right.
But like,
you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think you're right. I don't think I want to at all.
Oh wait, that's very different than your view though. You said
wait, chill. It's not a fucking debate. Okay, but yeah, like if you don't want to, like that's fine. Yeah, 100%.
No, that is fun for sure.
Yeah, I actually think I don't want to.
Yeah, then fuck it.
One time,
that's different. I was arguing the points that you made. A lot of streamers say that fake shit.
Sometimes I'll get a like craving for it, but I don't see it being sustainable.
Yeah, that's fine. You could just plan like once a month or whatever when there are like people in the area if you want to go out and do stuff like that. Like you can make plans for that kind of stuff instead of trying to make it a regular thing.
Mizgiv said he's like use it just for like here and there to like rev up the channel, but stick to desktops because really that's
the bread and butter.
It's a broadcast anyway, right?
That's his bread and butter. It doesn't mean it has to be everybody's. That's his content.
Sure, but if you want it to be, it can be yours. Yeah.
No, some people can. Like Jake and Nick can always be on the travel. I can't. I just can't do that. I wish.
I mean, you don't want to. You can though. But there is more risk with IRL. Like someone could just come and flash their tits. There could be a fight that happens.
Listen, I have to deal with that risk in my house. There's girls walking around all the time. I'm sorry. I'm done.
But yeah, so there is a little bit more risk, but people act like as soon as you go outside, it's like ban central.
It's like
You're not a fucking idiot.
The only thing that would scare me about IRL is I don't think I will ever drive on stream again. That shit looks terrifying. God. If you like fucking glance out your window, you get like fucking banned, dude. They came out hard on that. Holy shit. I've seen so many people catch like so many weird bans on that shit.
Yeah, Mayama says, remember, John, they are forgetting you're not partnered. They don't take this into consideration. Yes, true. Go ahead.
I was going to say that one time I was doing an IRL stream and my friend, like, drank her Gyazo sauce like out of the little container thing, like not like a shot, but like she like chugged it down, and I got banned. And then like I guess it was for like promoting underage drinking or something, and I that was really confusing to me. So I feel like there is sometimes like random things that you can get banned for doing IRL, but
yeah, for sure. But I mean, there are things on desktop too. Maybe you click a Twitter link or whatever, and there's like a Gachi picture, some shit like one thing down, or like some, you know, I mean, like things can happen. Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch Jones was like, "Oh, I don't want to get banned doing IRL," and literally 30-day ban came from a desktop stream thing.
He leaked some private language, boys.
It wasn't a joke, but it was private.
It was private.
I mean,
I'm actually gonna help Mitch. I think. Well, I think we're gonna do some IRL together, but I feel like he has the wrong view of IRL too. I feel like if he does some travel stuff, and it's kind of just like more like light adventure.
Well, his problem is that he'll drink, right?
Well, you know, it's funny that you said that, John, because we just kind of made loose plans, but I was gonna completely tell him two things. I was gonna say, you shouldn't drink on stream, and shouldn't do that much crazy shit. Like if we meet girls and stuff, like maybe tone it down.
Yeah.
Those are the two pieces of advice I was gonna give him.
Yeah. I said that to DK too. I'm like, how are you not afraid of Texas by now? You know, like so much, every corner is crazy.
Andy, would you rather go to Africa and help build a well for a couple weeks, or donate $8,000 to a charity if you knew that they were gonna build a well? Because like if you're there building it, then you see it. But in that situation, you're not actually seeing the results.
Yeah, but going to Africa, getting like.
Okay.
Fucking A.
Dude, you could do some IRL in Africa, man.
There you go, man.
Definitely not.
You would have to save it onto your phone and upload it later, probably. I don't know, the internet's so hot over there.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's a low blow.
I'm sure if you're in major cities, it's
literally
probably
true.
fine.
The major cities don't need wells, do they?
Oh shit.
Wow, that's,
Well, anyways,
that's a fly-head take.
It's a really complicated thing, Andy, right? Because I'm sure we can agree that today you could save a life with that amount of money, but you choose not to do it. So it means, you know, we're not willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, well, I have to take your word for it. It's not like I knew in my head, like every $1,000 that, like I said, oh my god,
Well,
I
we
can
don't think
actually
about it.
save 25 lives.
Do you really doubt that you could essentially save a life if you wanted to? If you like basically donated everything to your name, sold all your possessions, do you not think you could save one life as a result of that?
No,
Yeah,
not with
probably.
money.
If I gave all my shit away, yeah.
But
So you
wait.
could.
Why? Why with money? With people, wait, you just give money, people won't die? How is that possible?
You buy them food, you give them water, you give them mosquito nets. There's all sorts of reasons. You
Give
pay
them
for an operation.
hats, clothes, shoes.
But when's enough? Like say I could
Exactly. When's enough? But you could do it and you don't.
Okay, well maybe I should. Maybe I will.
But you
$15 a month, 50 cents a day can purchase life-saving treatment for 17 young children suffering from malaria. All right,
why not 30?
Bruno.
why only that much?
Because
There's,
now you're.
Peter Singer
Now
writes
you're
about this, but
putting-
there's like a very weird like utilitarian calculus that will fuck your life up if you get into this too much. So for instance, let's say you go to Starbucks and you buy a drink for $5. Why didn't you just buy like Folgers for $1 and send the extra $4 to some other person? Like there's some amount of life that you're trading for the privilege of just drinking like Starbucks coffee instead of just making it yourself. Like is a human life really worth that? It gets very strange, when you start
Yeah,
taking that into account.
Destiny could have saved a whole Mexican family, but he ate at Chipotle instead of going to the mom and pop shop.
I think that's a very like communist or socialist argument, right?
No, it's not. It's just it's basically like it shows that like we don't make moral decisions in the ways that we wish we would. It's not very rational the way that we do it. If somebody was standing right in front of me, and I could hand them $500 so they could live for a year, or I could buy like a PlayStation 4, almost everybody would say, okay, you can't just buy the PlayStation 4 and let this dude die. That's fucked up.
Dan would.
I don't
Except
know.
for
No, it
maybe
wouldn't. It's all about it's about proximity.
most
but go
people
ahead.
would not say that that's acceptable. I'm just going to make that assumption because it's true.
Yeah,
However,
it's
more or less, we make these decisions all the time in society. Every time we buy some expensive car instead of a cheaper one, we're essentially valuing our own personal comfort over the lives of other people, et cetera, et cetera.
It really comes down what you're trying to say too is out of sight, out of mind, and that's really why I preach that if you have toxic people in your life, guys, blocking them does work.
Why are you not vaping?
I will donate
I mean,
you
I don't
my
mean to be
Twitch
weird about
card
it,
so
but
you
first
can
off,
survive
vaping.
monthly.
No, hold on. Vaping will give you a better feeling than cigarettes do. 2, you will not smell like shit. You don't realize it right now, but you smell like
I
shit
think
constantly,
cigs smell
especially
good on
when you
guys.
smoke inside. And 3, it
I
won't
know,
make all
but
your
I'm
shit
told,
yellow.
I'm told by everyone that I smell
And it's
like
cheaper.
fucking shit.
Yeah, but you can switch so easily. Vaping is a better satisfaction. What the fuck are you doing?
Just
Like-
to be clear, chat, Dan has called me a hipster 20 times, and he's encouraging someone to vape.
Wait, vaping,
unironically.
and it's more healthy to you. There's literally no reason for you not like to still smoke a cigarette. It's cheaper to vape. It's more satisfying. You don't smell. Like, I don't understand. Like, I vaped for years, okay? And when I would try a cigarette, it's literally garbage tier compared to vaping.
I know.
Like that.
No.
So why not just switch? Just fucking.
Wait,
be
why
done.
not chew Nicorette? I quit smoking 15 years ago, and I still chew Nicorette. I know that sounds terrible, but there's nothing wrong with chewing Nicorette. I have really nice breath all the time, and I don't smoke.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with me, man. I can take 4 or 5 days from smoking completely, and then something will happen, stress me out, and I'll fucking go through a pack in a day. I don't know.
Just buy like a Juul, buy like 10
Yeah.
Juuls, and then don't have cigarettes, and stay in the house, and that's how you like move to vaping, and then you'll be very happy.
Juuls
If you
are
have
so harsh.
willpower, you'll
Juuls
do
are
it.
harsher than cigarettes.
It really
Yeah, they
comes.
are.
I know. It comes down to a habit. Like bouncing every 5 years in a row of a cigarette on my hand. That I have to change the
Yeah,
habit.
but you
to a
can kind
Juul.
of do that. Okay, they have the throwaway things that are the exact same as a cigarette. But real quick, I need to address something from chat. Someone saying more healthy, except for all those mystery lung problems from vaping. It's one of the most irresponsible things that someone in chat can possibly say.
That's so
believe it or
fucking
not. Like,
stupid. Who the
it's
fuck
so
said that?
dumb. It's literally like, okay, first off, I think the FDA has identified that it was just like a few like basically spiked marijuana THC vapes, not in general. Second off, it is categorically fucking proven that smoking cigarettes will literally kill you. And like the advice that you're giving is that vaping is somehow worse because there's some weird popcorn lung with like 5,000 people. I have news for you. A lot of motherfuckers die every year from cigarettes.
Popcorn lung
You're not wrong,
happened
Dan.
way
You're-
early into vaping when they used this artificial
Dan-
ingredient in vape that was similar to buttered popcorn. That they stopped using that like years and years and years.
John,
ago.
just to,
Dan,
if-
you're not
for anything
wrong.
else.
People in my chat, subscribers get banned if they ask me what brand smokes and shit. You're not wrong at all, dude.
But why not just make the switch? Like here's the thing. You're like,
I-
fuck, I've been doing it for a while, but it's so easy. It's so
I know,
and it's
but
more
you're-
satisfying.
But like I'm really like I'm like a ritual kind of guy, so it's so hard for me to like I'm like a hamster on a wheel,
I know, but I guarantee you can do it. Like if start with the if like that's so important, start with the ones that are this exact same size as a cigarette. It's gonna be
Man,
more
look,
satisfying to you.
Look, man, I don't need to hear this fucking shit because look, I'm gonna be honest, man. I hear it every day. Look, I'm just glad I gave up drinking, dude. Like, let me one step at a time, man.
I mean, the Juul tobacco flavor does actually feel like you're smoking a cigarette. Regular vapes feel like you're in a cheesy club with fucking coconut fucking vape in the air. But Juuls actually do taste like you're smoking a cigarette and feel like.
Dude,
I mean, stronger
we were all
than a
smokers
cigarette.
before.
Though.
There's nothing worse for a smoker to hear quit smoking. Dude,
No, I don't give a shit if he quits. I
John
vape.
knows she's gonna quit
Quitting.
smoke. She's not ready for it.
Yeah, look, for me, it's like this, guys. Why are my hands always bleeding? Because I rip the nails to the fucking flesh. Since I was young, I've had this stress issue. If not cigarettes, it's ripping my fucking nails out or drinking myself into a fucking... So, look, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. So that last thing I want to hear, I know this is a habit gotta go too. I know. I hate this topic, dude. And I'm
No,
weird,
I don't
dude.
blame you.
I'm
It's
weird. I get
annoying.
in my own
I'm not
head
trying
too much.
to. I mean, it doesn't affect me. I'm just saying. I think it would be way easier for you. I don't think it would be
I know,
any
but
effort at all.
it's so hard for me to talk about it because I'm not trying to defend the habit. I've nowhere. When I stop, I'll stop. Look, Dan, just a few months ago, I was a fucking destroying my life with Jameson. You know, you know what I mean? I'm in a great place right now.
No, I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying, don't think of it like such a chore. It would be very easy for you. That's all I'm saying. You think it's like a huge fucking thing. I think it'd be easy as shit.
Yeah,
Look,
a lot
Dan,
of people.
Dan, when I stopped smoking the most was on Twitch, and then after the bans and stuff, now I realize I always got to monitor. It's like, you know what I mean? I'm always fucking, oh fuck, you know?
No, I totally get it. But
I'm not blaming Twitch or stuff, but I'm blaming the way I handle stress is horrible. You know,
we want you to live a long life.
Well, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not fighting people on the streets anymore. I'm a fucking nerd on a desktop now. I'm really good now. You know.
Nice.
This might be an extremely loaded question, but I guess back to the Steven Crowder thing, like he believes that there are only two genders. Would you argue against that, Destiny?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes onto that you could argue against. I don't know if I would argue against there being more than two genders. That's a pretty
You get permaban
weird...
if you argue against.
No, fuck off. That's not true. I'm pretty sure Tyler One literally made that joke that got clipped on LSF and didn't get in any trouble for that at all. Okay, so that does not happen. But like anything related to like gender identity or anything related to trans issues, most conservatives take like a very emotionally loaded argument towards it, and they ignore like all the science. So it's pretty easy to call them out on them using like a feels over reals argument there.
Right, because do you believe that there are only two genders or that there aren't? So no.
I believe in trans people and trans identities, maybe non-binaries. Like I don't know what it depends on what you mean when you say like more than two genders. Like the idea that there's like 72 genders or whatever, that's like an ultra niche position that not even like many people in the trans community push. That's like a really weird. There's like two main things that I've heard, and that one is there is you either can push for like gender abolitionism, where you believe there are no genders or there should be no genders, like you want an agenderless society, or you can push for like a spectrum of genders, like you've got from masculine to feminine.
Right. So, for example, now they're wanting to add in like an extra toilet in like restaurants and stuff. Do you think that it should be added in, like like a non-binary sort of toilet for people to go in, or that the male and female toilets should just be combined? Like,
family restaurants.
I think that male and female combined, I think, is okay. It seems kind of weird, but I know in a couple places in Sweden. Where I was at, it seemed like they had male and female bathrooms, and nobody like killed each other or went fucking crazy. Like you just all walked into the same like big room, and you came out, and it was like,
yeah, it wasn't that bad, basically.
Yeah, it didn't seem like society was falling apart over there, but yeah.
Like I'm kind of the same. Like I believe people can be whatever they want, and you have the right to be whatever you want, and people that are transgender or something should have their own like maybe like non-binary or just something in the middle, I guess you could call it, or be able to then also change their genders like legally. However, like I feel like what he was arguing in most of his videos, where like the change my mind videos, I'm sure you've seen them obviously.
Yeah.
I guess he was arguing more of the point like you are only born either male or female. But you can then choose to decide whatever you want to be like.
Yeah, the big problem that Crowder has on stuff like that is like even the concept of male and female, like even on a sex level, it is somewhat arbitrary. Like these are all like socially defined areas that he doesn't understand very well. So if you start asking him a few questions or pushing him on that, I think his position would fall apart like pretty quickly.
I feel like the only reason that he looks so sort of in a sense powerful in all of like the change my mind stands is because he goes incredibly prepared. Like
he's got like a whole binder full of shit, and he knows exactly what he's going to talk about. And everything.
He's like obviously practiced what he's going to say like a million times, and he's like literally going just to students and people that have just been caught like in their day-to-day lives with no planning at all. So obviously they're going to sound hella dumb, and he's going to sound like he knows everything, which I find is a little unfair. Like he doesn't do very many debates with other people that actually know some shit as well. So I feel
they all intentionally avoid people that they think like could call them out on stuff, which is kind of dumb. He only debates like college kids, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Bella, you ready? Here it is in 2 seconds. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Oh God. All right. Oh my God.
No arguments. Just
No, you can argue,
chat.
but I know I'm gonna get fucking triggered. Here's what I believe,
I don't
okay?
like arguments.
I think that 95% of the Instagram girls that have big booties or whatever on the internet, generally what it is most of it is fat. A lot of the girls say that they work out and they gained a bunch of muscle in the gym, but the reality is they just started eating more, they gained fat, and they happen to put on a lot of fat on their butt. My evidence for this is, one, there are powerlifting girls that deadlift or squat massive weights that don't have these big Instagram booties, and two, every Instagram booty girl that talks about how much they work out and how much they do their glutes or whatever, ST Peach included, when they actually film a workout, they're squatting like 85 pounds and they're doing like 10-pound like fucking like glute bridges or whatever. It's not like these massive weights that you would expect to see to have like a massive booty. I think they just put on a bunch of fat and that's it. That's my argument for the booty debate, okay?
Okay. So, I actually partially agree with you with a lot of that. It's very, very, very true that so many girls on Instagram do have genetically stored fat in their glutes, which obviously makes them, that whole thick appearance, makes them thicker in their glutes. So I actually agree with you very much on that part. Is it possible
This is
to
the most scientific boner I've ever gotten.
What did you say? Say that again. Sorry, Bella, what?
Wait, I got...
Oh my god. Hold on.
I agree with
Okay,
you.
well, I'm sorry, wait, we'll do this in 2 seconds. Okay, go. What were we going to say?
Okay. So I partially agree with you on that. I do think that, yes, there are definitely many genetically blessed people, as you could call them. However, is it possible to gain large glutes with the gym? Yes. Is it possible in every single case scenario? No, definitely not, because genetics do play a huge role either way. Some people are genetically more likely to gain muscle in their glute area, and some people have very, very, very small glutes and struggle immensely to build them. So
I mean, I think your glutes will grow regardless of like your genetics. They have to. Like if you're doing certain movements, like if you're deadlifting, you have to get glutes. You can't do that movement without getting them. I just don't think that even if you have very fucking powerful glutes, even if you have huge glutes that let you do massive rows, not rows, hip thrusts, or even if you have massive glutes that let you do huge like deadlifts or whatever, or squats, although that's not necessarily like a glute-centric movement, you're never gonna get like a huge Instagram booty doing that. You have to eat a lot and you have to gain fat. That most of that nice jiggly whatever fucking Instagram booty is just eating a lot and getting fat. That's what I think. That's my
that can definitely be the case in many situations, because a lot of people, like I said again, are genetically blessed in that area in terms of where they store fat. However, like you also said, it is possible to grow your glutes with the gym, and it is. However, also it depends in your genetics if you are more prone to gaining muscle in specific areas. Like it's not the same for everyone. So some people will struggle to gain muscle in their glutes and some people will find it easier. Also, some people are more quad dominant. So when they're doing like hip thrusts or something, the muscle, or the weight is like mostly lifted through their quads because their quads end up taking over if they're doing a squat or a deadlift or whatever the hell the exercise may be.
Well, like I don't think for like a squat, I don't think your glutes can take over. You have to have strong quads. You have to have strong hamstrings. You can't do a full squat with just glutes, right?
Yeah, true, 100%, definitely. One thing that I like, because I work with a bunch of girls as well that do my guide, one thing that I say if people have like more stubborn glutes, I would call it, and they're more like quad dominant, is to do like glute activation. So getting your glutes fired up before your training session so that they become more involved in your squats and your deadlifts or whatever the hell you're doing. Do I think that all of these jiggly ass, cakey ass booties on Instagram are mostly fat and genetics? Yes, 100%. However, do I think it's also possible to build a big glute from weight training and like eating right and everything like that? Yes, also very, very possible. But it's not what you see on Instagram 99% of the time. It's people that have worked hard. And you also mentioned powerlifting. Powerlifting is great, but it's not a hypertrophy type of training. So powerlifting, you focus a lot on strength.
Yeah, so people talk about like the difference between hypertrophy and like strength training and like rep ranges, like 5 to 8 reps versus like 10 to 18 reps or different rep ranges or whatever. But like the overall, like when the studies are done to look at like muscle growth in these ranges, it's more or less equivalent. It's not that different. Like people like can jerk off like different rep ranges, but like when you actually start like measuring muscles between different trainings, like if you can bench 225, you're gonna have a big chest. You're gonna have big triceps. Like just doing it with strength isn't going to magically make smaller muscles more powerful, and benching like 85 pounds in the maximum hypertrophy range isn't going to give you like a huge chest. Like I don't think there's like huge differences in muscle growth. Like if you're talking about like bodybuilders or people that need to like maximize or squeeze every bit of their training out, I don't know that, but I think we probably mostly agree on things. I think.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. I do understand that part of it, because with powerlifting, you're not really focusing getting the specific muscle that you want to grow involved. So obviously, you know, you see a lot of powerlifting girls with very, very, very big quads, and that's because just genetically, and most people tend to have their quads take the lead in these type of exercises. If you're not, you know, intentionally focusing on your glutes to get involved as well. So that's why most girls that do powerlifting and lift a crazy amount of weight have big quads and maybe not as big of a glute, whereas other girls like that focus more on the hypertrophy side of things, which is again not as that different compared to powerlifting if you look at just the, you know, science and the stats. But the difference is that they actually focus on their glutes a lot more in those movements. So if you're deadlifting or if you're squatting, you actually get your glutes more involved, because powerlifting is just about the speed and about the power, whereas hypertrophy, you're doing it slower, you're concentrating more, and you're getting the muscles that you want involved more as well. So I do get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I don't think you're like totally incorrect there, but I do also think that is very, very, very possible from experience, and also from seeing people that I've trained and stuff just really grow a crazy amount. I do think it's very possible to gain large glutes in the gym if you do it the correct way, basically. But also, just last point, there are loads of people on Instagram that have these, like, you know, either fake asses or like just genetically blessed, and then they preach to their followers like, oh, look at my ass, it's so big, and then they just say like, you know, hey, buy my beauty guide or whatever, and you can get the same thing, when actually it's genetics, or they store fat there, and it's not always hard work. But yeah,
Sure.
That's my take
Okay.
on it.
Cool. All right, LB, I'm moving
You
down.
guys are free.
But they'll probably. Oh yes.
Okay.
You made that.
We made it. We survived. Okay.
Who won?
Not triggered. Okay. What are we doing?
I don't think no one won. It was just like a.
Well,
No,
someone
we
has
didn't
to
win.
if it's a
Nope,
debate.
there's not a win. It was a conversation.
I'll tell
and
you, it's
nobody
all
got triggered.
genetics, guys. It's all genetics.
Yeah.
But do you agree with me, Destiny, or do you still think?
I think we
differently?
agree enough for it to be okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So I realized that you are very good at, like, you know, slowly introducing content on YouTube, like a few days or even the day after you have it on Twitch, right? And I actually watch a lot of YouTube videos, no? So my question to you is this one: how do you do that? Do you actually?
I pay a team of people to do it. I never touch my YouTube.
So they're actually downloading your stuff, and then
Yep,
like they're
and they
doing
do it all
themselves?
on their own. I think the biggest, or maybe you know this, I guess I don't know in terms of hedge fund stuff, but if you want to be like a small business owner, I think the most important jump you make in your like financial maturity is when you realize that you need to be able to hand tasks off to other people and pay other people to do things that you shouldn't waste your time with. That was
I
as soon
agree
as I
1000%.
learned that, that handing off the YouTube like freed up so much time. I don't run my social media, I don't run my YouTube. I've got a guy that like farm sponsors and shit for me. I've got like people that work my website. Like I just focus on streaming because
You
that's what I
run
do.
your own Twitter?
Good one.
Yeah, it's actually,
Good
it's actually
one,
crazy
dude.
that you mentioned that though, because like I'm in that like phase where I'm struggling so freaking hard to like pass the responsibility off to other people, because like editing YouTube videos and stuff, like I edit every thing.
Yeah, that's so bad.
So I am so overrun, like you have no idea.
Yeah, but
Well,
isn't
like
that-
at your
like-
life, like it feels like if you had 36 hours in a day and you never slept, you would still have more work to do. Like
Exactly, like it's just never ends. Like, I do not have a day off or like a few hours off.
But isn't it if you like edit it yourself, it's like way better?
No.
Than, like you kind of, but you like know what you want and what you want to put out there, right?
Here's the problem. Everybody that's a successful business person is usually pretty good at one thing. So you feel like you want to manage like everything. You feel like you want to have like, I can do my videos the best, I can do my Instagram the best, I can do everything. So what happens is you end up giving like 100% to like one or two projects at the most. But as soon as you realize that you can hand it off to other people, you can do like 10 projects at a time at like 95%. Like, and it's way better because it frees you up to do the things that only you can do, right? So for Bella, like you're the only person that can stream on your channel. You're the only person that can be like the subject in your pictures. Like anybody could edit your shit. Anybody could like, you know, figure out like how to tag stuff or depending on their engagement with your Instagram, or do other things for you. So what you have to do is you have to identify like what you do that only you can do, and anything else that anybody else can do has to be handed off to other people. There's going to be like trial and error in terms of finding people to pay for it, but until you do that, you are going to be always capped on the amount of growth you can do, and you're never going to make it like
I 100% like I know this for a fact. Like I'm not like, I guess, ignorant to it. Like I 100% know that you have to, you know, share the responsibility. Otherwise you just can't. There's like a cap on how much you can do, which is what I'm like finding myself ever since I started Twitch. Like I feel so overwhelmed with like running like the businesses and then also my Instagrams and like just so much shit, you know what I mean?
Like, do you have for your sponsor deals for your Instagram? Do you find those yourself, or do you have a guy that like works for you or reaches out for you, or what?
I do everything from the emails, from contacting my manufacturers for my brand, for literally every single thing. All me. Is
That
bad.
means that
Like
you make 50% of the money that you could have been making.
No, it's less than that even. You could
Yeah, okay.
like the
I was
growth
try-
is
I was trying- I was trying to
exponential.
be nice.
Yeah,
I
like
was-
it's crazy. And you
I
can
know,
even
it's-
like it sucks, but like the best way to do it is you just have to fucking like dive into it. You got to be like, "Listen, I'm looking for a guy to do this shit. Fucking do it." And then you know you're going to run into a few and some of them are going to be shit, but like you'll find that one person. Like finding good help is like that's actually like it's a skill that you never develop in your life, but it's the most important skill when you realize that you have to develop it. Like I need to figure out how to find people that can get work done that I don't want to do. That's like the most important skill in life. And if you can develop it, holy shit, it's so
It
fucking
doesn't
key.
have to be that risky if you go with like a reputable company, though, right? A
Yeah,
management
of course.
company.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
See, this is the thing. Like, I guess the reason why I don't share the responsibility is because I've tried in the past, and every single mother effing time I get screwed over so badly. Like, I went with a management company, and they screwed me the whole year, pretty much. Like, I signed a year contract, and they were just. They didn't bring me any deals. They were awful, basically. They
Wait,
screwed
did they
me over.
also like take part of your income?
Oh yeah. They took part of my income.
Wait,
Oh, yeah,
income for
fuck
what?
that.
Wait, income for what?
My sponsors. They wanted to take my YouTube revenue. They wanted to take like revenue from everywhere.
Yeah,
and
fuck
Oh
that.
yeah, okay, wait. So like this is fuck. Okay, I can't really speak to
Never do
industry
that.
standards within Instagram. Maybe it runs differently there. I'd be shocked if that was true. But anytime you're signing a deal with any kind of management company, they do not touch any fucking money that they didn't have a hand in getting you. So if somebody wants to sign on for like managing your shit, then that's fine. They can take a cut. Like I give like 20% to my guy that farms deals for me, because if he finds a sponsorship, he can get it. But there's no fucking way I'm keying him in on shit that I got myself in the past. Never cut somebody in on like residuals. That doesn't make any sense at all. Don't do that.
And you shouldn't even fucking sign anything with a management company. I mean, you could find managers who'll be interested in you. You just do a handshake deal, and in a month, if you want to get the fuck out of there, peace. In a year, if you want to get out of there, peace. But
or even if you do sign with them, like after like a year contract, if they don't get you anything after a few months, you can email and be like, "Yo, listen, bro, this is shit. I'm leaving." Like they're not gonna.
That's what
fucking,
I did. I left.
They're not gonna fucking press charges or some shit against you.
They still actually owe me money, which is just is just great. I contact the dude every single day, and he just paid me.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, like it's just I just
Where
find
do
it
you
difficult to like
live?
trust people in the UK. I just find it difficult to like trust the like people to sort of have that responsibility when I'm like a little bit of a control freak and like doing everything myself, making sure everything.
That word is like it sounds like I know you feel this inside, and you don't have to say it because I felt the same way. Okay, and everybody does. Like I said, when you are somebody that like gets to a certain level in what you do, you feel really proud of the work you've done. And that control freak, even if you describe it negatively, like inwardly, like you do have a little bit of pride. Like I was like that. Like I like doing all of my stuff. I know I can do it better than anybody else. I know I can do this really well. And if I can't do it, then I'm not going to do it. But like, oh my god, it is such a self-destructive attitude. Do you know?
I know. Help
it's so
me.
self-destructive. I talked
You
to a
know
guy.
what?
I know.
It changes. Okay, so I have a question, and please feel free if you don't want to answer. Okay?
Yep.
Bella, question for you.
No
Are
worries.
you under the age of 22?
Yeah, I'm 21.
Okay. So it's something that, like Destiny says, is very important, but it comes, it will basically come with experience. You're gonna burn yourself. And when you burn yourself out, you're gonna say, okay, do I want to actually lose all this revenue stream, or do I want to outsource it? And the answer is always you want to outsource it, right?
If it can be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, listen, look, I used to be a one-man show until I literally almost had a attack, and I was too young to have. And that's when I was like,
that's
what?
crazy.
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Just bring anybody in. In my life it became so much better. But like you have to learn. No one could tell you that. You can't learn that. You have to learn by actually suffering the consequences of actually being a control freak, which is nothing wrong with it. It's actually a good thing sometimes.
It's not. It's never a good thing. It feels like it, but once you get like, as soon as you start handing projects off, you're gonna be like, oh my god, why the fuck did I waste? Like, I did this all myself. I'm making a free like whatever, 5 figures a month off some shit that I don't even have my hand in anymore. It feels so fucking good. Holy shit, it is.
Okay, but hold on. Okay, but here we go. Okay. How on earth do you know that the person that you actually hiring to do the work for you is doing great work unless you yourself do? and you see the process of doing it.
No, so there are ways to know this. So like, it's a skill set, in my opinion, that you have to develop. I'll give a real life example for this. I had a guy that was running my YouTube channel for a while, and so I told him like, listen, I'm gonna give you $1,000 a month flat to run this channel, and then when the revenue exceeds $2,000 a month, I'm gonna cut you in 50-50 on all the revenue. So once it starts making $3,000, oh yeah. So I gave that channel to him, and I said, do it. I don't want to deal with anything of it. Figure it out. And maybe every week or so, he would message me with like a thing where he'd be like, hey, like, I don't know how to do this thing, should I look up this, blah, blah, blah. And he would ask me a lot of questions. So like, it's when people do that, for instance, if you have somebody that can't that needs a lot of direction, that can't like self-guide, that's like a big red flag. If I contrast that to like another person that I got later on, I figured out another guy later on because it wasn't working with him because I had to have too much hands-on stuff, right? And well, fuck, the whole reason I'm paying him is just so I don't have to deal with it. I got a guy later on who, he would message me and he'd be like, hey, listen, can you pay me a little bit more? I want to pay somebody else to do thumbnails, right? Where that guy actually started to delegate stuff. So I paid somebody to do my YouTube, and this guy was finding out, like, he'd message me, be like, hey, here's this problem. These are like the things that I'm going to try to do to see if it works, just to give you a heads up. And he was able to figure everything out on his own in terms of like building that YouTube channel out. And he's so good at it now. He has like his own little company, and he runs like a whole bunch of like big YouTubes now for other streamers because he could like do that like direction himself. Like the goal is to find people that can get work done without bothering you, that are delivering results. So, like things like KPIs are important, key performance indicators. What kind of growth are you looking for? Is it going to be like a daily growth value? Is it going to be like a revenue value? Is it going to be a percentage of sponsorships? Like you have to figure out what those indicators are. You have to give them a project. You have to see if they can deliver. You have to see if they can deliver the results you're looking for. And then you just like move through people like that if they can't hit the goals that you set for them. Sorry, holy shit, I'm like bombarding you with a lot of stuff. Does that make sense?
No, that was.
That was great.
Yeah, you can tell like who can do the shit and who can't. You should be able to tell like reasonably quickly. Like if somebody's asking you a fuck ton of questions and they're not delivering results or shit's starting to go downhill, then it's like, all right, listen, you got a month or two to turn this around. Otherwise, I'm going to find somebody else. Right?
Damn. How do you like find these people? They're like, where do you even begin to look? Because that's the problem I'm having.
You don't have that problem. We're so lucky because we are so visible. You could put out a message on your Instagram. That's their biggest platform. You have 1 million followers. I guarantee you got a ton of people that would fall heads over heel to work with you. Half of them want to fuck you, so you have to weed those people out. And you got to find the other half that are actually serious and doing work.
Weed them out,
and then you got to find the other half that are actually serious and doing work for you. And you absolutely have the reach to find those people. Your reach is probably bigger than almost anybody here except for like Andy. So like you've got a massive reach. You could reach out like this, and that's how I do it. I would basically do trials for my YouTube. I was like, yo, I want to see who can edit some funny shit. I took like the top 3 people. I asked them questions like, hey, how do you do like YouTube videos for this? I looked at the responses. I picked the best one, and then you try them out for a few months, and then you go from there. Yeah. But starting that process is like, it will be the most, I'm telling you right now, it will be the most important process you ever start for your entire like business life. And when you look back like 5 years after, like not having to run every single fucking thing, it will be so much free time that you never know you had. It's insane.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. Like I've been knowing this for a while now, because every like month or two I have a day where I just like I kind of break down. This is getting deep, but like no pity or anything, but just I kind of like break down just because I have so much on my plate. Like it's actually ridiculous just the amount of shit like that I have to be responsible for every day. Like someone alone would be taking the whole entire time just to run one of the brands that I own. So like I'm not trying to like big myself up or whatever or nothing like that, but like it's a lot to have to take on every single day. And
I'm jelly.
Do you ever like travel or anything?
I honestly don't leave the house. Like, I have no social life. I'm constantly working. I don't even have time for my family anymore. It's bad. Like I know it's bad and everyone tells me it's bad, and I need to definitely take some sort of action towards it because I can't keep going like this without like
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, if you do travel, if you take like 2 or 3 days off, picking everything up again, the fucking 200 fucking emails, like all of like, you can't, like, you can't do it. There are like days where you just can't take time off. Yeah, you have to always be connected and plugged in and juggling, 5 different engagements at any given time, and there's like deadlines and everything. And yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take your advice though, and just full on just hire people because it's just
Yeah. When I used to go to like conventions in the past, like I would have like 6 different email chains with like 6 different companies that I need to meet, and I would try to like show up, and I would like be organizing like all of this shit and managing it, blah 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 blah. For my last TwitchCon, I had the manager guy that I found, and I pulled this guy to my chat, and he's He's like a fucking software dev for some random company or like something. I don't even know. He's like really random, but he's really good at what he does. He sends me like one list of like 5 people, like where they're at, what they work for, what I need to mention to them. Like basically like a cheat code for like every conversation. Like find Justin from Razer at this booth, mention that you play PUBG and that you want a laptop. And it's like, okay, cool. And I just walk there and it's so easy. I don't even have to turn my brain on. Like I just have to play like find the guy, where's Waldo, like where is he at in the convention center? This is what I'm talking about. It's so easy to have somebody that just like manages that stuff for you. You don't have to fucking think about it. It's so fucking useful. Holy shit.
Yeah, like an assistant or something, for sure.
Okay, this is odd, but sometimes I don't know how to feel about something that I see, and I don't know because I don't have the tools to know.
Sure.
Because I don't have like the knowledge, right?
Okay.
And so I saw this thing on Twitter the other day, and it was some no, okay, I gotta be careful here. It was dude, fuck me. It was a person, and that person was an athlete at cycling and I think weightlifting, whatever, right? And I think it was like a male to female like trans person, right? And he was just he was just crushing everybody, right?
Okay.
What is your take on that?
It's a really long conversation. The short answer is that it's really, really complicated, and it's
Well, people are saying, here we go, here it comes. So that means that you've gone over this before, and they're talking about
we have.
it.
It's just it's a really complicated issue. Like the answer that I can tell you that you would want to hear is that like that's not like an easy. Trans people can't compete. I don't think normally with cis women. I don't know if that's the right answer. But like that's like the short answer that you're probably looking for. That I think I'd probably have to agree. That
I'm not looking for an answer that is like in my favor. I don't actually have an opinion on it. I think I actually don't think anything.
Okay.
I kind of think something, but it's not really. It's
you're
like,
like super married to it or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's like I would love to have a different idea if it was the better one, and I would love it because it would just be more intellectual. I'd be just smarter at the end of the day. Sure.
I mean, like the truth is that it's a really, really complicated issue.
Okay, so there's too many moving parts, and you have to know like a bunch of concepts to kind of like.
Well, basically, the problem is that like if you're a trans woman, if you start taking hormones after a year, you're not going to be able to compete with any cis men. Like if you're a male to female trans person, you right?
True.
You
I didn't think about that.
You 100% can't compete with men anymore. You won't be able to. Definitely not. However, it's possible that there are some advantages that you gained as going through puberty as a male that you'll always have even after hormone replacement therapy.
Like bone density,
sure,
and muscle
and
structure,
lung capacity and all of that, right? So it's questionable if it's really fair for you to compete with cis women being a trans woman, right? But the problem is that like when we start talking about like what is fair, you get into a lot of weird questions. It's like, well, is anything fair? Like, shouldn't we start like what about women that have naturally higher testosterone, or men that are naturally taller than other men, or people that naturally have like greater bone density or whatever? Like, that's what I mean when I say it's really complicated.
Bone density.
Yeah.
So that'd be the same thing as saying that it would also be unfair for the exact opposite of if it was a female to male who would now definitely not
like a female to male can't compete in can't compete in the or like a male to female can't compete in the sex they left, basically, right? They can't do that anymore. They won't be competitive. It's like
exactly.
Like transitioning would be like that'd be like taking anti-steroids, right? Like there's no way you'd be competitive.
Well, no. I mean, for the opposite, I think that doesn't make sense anymore.
Oh, you mean for like a trans male, so a woman that goes to male?
Exactly.
Oh,
now they'd be the exact opposite scenario. They could compete.
Oh yeah, they would probably crush their current. They would absolutely crush their current competition. It'd be like a woman doing steroids, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the new bracket, they're probably gonna get crushed also. So
probably if they went through puberty as a female, they'd probably get crushed by competitive athletic men. Yeah.
So do you think that it would be more complicated because the current set of things, and you think overall in the future it'll be easier, or do you think it's something that will be recurring and always difficult to deal with?
The reason why it's so hard is because when we do sports, we like to think that we made sports merit based. Do you know what merit means?
Yeah, meritocracy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have classes to make sure things are quote unquote fair. But the reality is things aren't fair. People are born with certain body types that make it so that they will never, no matter how hard they try, be able to outswim Michael Phelps. They just don't have the body built for it. Not like muscle or whatever, but just like the shape. You know, and there are guys that might be some of the best basketball players ever, but like if you're like, you know, 5'9" or something, you're not playing in the NBA. It's just not going to happen. Like no matter how good you get, like it's insanely fucking rare for that to happen. So like the problem is that we have things set up as kind of what we like to think is a meritocracy, but the reality is that it probably isn't. So it's just like, so it's really weird because it's hard for us to acknowledge that things aren't really merit based, and that's kind of what trans people force us to sort of accept. It's possible, yeah. And I might agree with that. It depends on how vacuous we want to get with the definition of reward, I guess, right?